morning, everybody. This is Frances Castaneda-Dice, President of the Houston East End Chamber of Commerce, and we're here for our Feel Good Friday. It's an honor to have this program sponsored by TPC Group and our very own Sarah Cronin, who is a board member and a very dear friend. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sponsoring today's webinar. And we'd like to invite her right now just to say a few words about TPC Group and what education means to her.
Good afternoon. Hi, Frances.
Hi, Sarah.
Good to be with everybody. Thank you. Well, as Frances said, my name is Sarah Cronin, and I'm with TPC Group. For those who may not know, TPC Group is a petrochemical company headquartered in Houston with operating facilities in Houston's East End, Port Neches, and Lake Charles. Our products are used to make that which we benefit from having in our everyday life: tires, carpets, additives that make gasoline burn cleaner, and so much more. But really today, talking about the East End and at the local level in the community where we operate, we're committed to being a good neighbor, which means operating safely, being environmentally friendly, and giving back and being a part of the community. And certainly that's our connection with the East End, not only to support businesses and all the good work that Frances and her team does, but to support education efforts, which is why we're here today. And as Vice President of Communications and Public Affairs, one of my responsibilities is to oversee our community outreach activities. And East End Chamber is one of those ways that we can build relationships with the community. I had the honor of serving alongside Frances as a past board member and investing in the programs that not only does the East End do, but that we do on our own for our neighbors. The big one of the ones that we're kind of here talking about today, we focus on education. Some of our education initiatives include a scholarship program. It's called the Mark of Excellence Scholarship Program, which has awarded more than $920,000 in college scholarships to students really across Southeast Texas. In the East End, we have been a supporter and a partner with Chavez High School since they opened their doors more than almost, I guess, about 20 years ago. And because of the skilled, educated workforce that the petrochemical industry looks for, we felt it was important to invest in the students and help support their efforts to become part of that qualified workforce and be able to live and work and do good things in the East End. So in 2006, we started the Mark of Excellence Scholarship Program with Chavez High School. It is really geared towards students who are pursuing degrees in science, technology, chemistry, engineering. And since that time, we've awarded more than $520,000 in scholarships to Chavez High School students and graduates from the Genesis Works program, which is also an education internship program that TPC Group is really proud to support. I know a lot of Genesis Works students are affiliated with the Education Foundation at the Chamber, and there's some connection there. Through that internship program, TPC has sponsored 33 interns, all of whom, I think with the exception of one, has been from Chavez High School. In 11 years, we've had 33 interns, and they all receive a scholarship upon completion of their year at TPC and the good work that they do as interns in our company. So, of course, we're proud to be part of the East End Chamber that is doing great work for students in the East End, and glad to be here today. But it's really not the part we play that's important as much as it is the continued success of the Chamber and providing opportunities for students in the East End and making sure that those incredible stories that I think we're going to hear about today continue to be written. So I'm excited to be here, and thank you.
Thank you so much. And that's really what it's about today, is to talk about these opportunities that companies like yourself and leaders like yourself are giving. So we're going to bring back everybody so I can introduce our group for today. And again, back in 2013, the East End Chamber started a foundation to focus on workforce development education in the East End. We helped create with Austin High School, the Maritime Academy there, along with Port Houston. And we're so honored to have Gordie Keenan with Kirby Inland Marine, who just retired and who gave Isai Gutierrez an opportunity of a lifetime. Isai is a 2014 scholarship recipient of the Chamber and a graduate of the San Jacinto College Marine Program. And those are just a few of the folks that we're going to hear from today. And while we've got you up there, let's go ahead and start with you. Hi, Gordon. Hi, Isai. How are y'all?
Hello.
We are doing great.
Oh my goodness, it's such an honor. It's such an honor to have you two here. Isai, I know it's been, what, 6 years since you graduated from Austin High School?
Yeah, pretty much.
We're super proud of you. You attended the Maritime Academy program, and I know, Gordie, you were instrumental in helping with that. First, Gordie, can you just tell us a little bit about what you've done to help with the Austin Maritime Academy program?
So what we did with Austin and a bunch of the other local high schools that had maritime programs, we came in and basically talked to the kids about careers in maritime. Especially 5 or 6 years ago, our industry was really short of folks that wanted to work on the water. So we encouraged folks to complete their programs, the high school programs, and go on to San Jacinto College or one of the 4-year maritime academies. And then we worked with San Jack to get them to the point where they could come to work for us.
That's incredible. And Isai, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're from the East End. You went to Austin High School. How did this Maritime Academy impact your life?
So it was great. I mean, the Maritime Academy, once I heard about it, I realized that basically it was a real career path that I can definitely choose and proceed, and where I can make my family proud and I can make a good living to change my lifestyle that I had growing up for the better of myself and my future family. But the maritime industry itself, the Maritime Academy, it taught me a lot about the water, a lot about the Houston Ship Channel, which I didn't know about growing up. And it plays a huge factor here in the city of Houston. So just everything that it comes with learning my future role as a crew member on a boat, it's played a big role in my success out there in the water.
Well, we are super, super proud of you. Do you have aspiration goals to become one of the Houston pilots on the water?
I think I've made a career change. I guess you can say, blessed to be able to come into the office at Kirby Inland Marine as an operations coordinator, which is a huge role for me. And I'm very blessed to have taken the opportunity to come off the boats and work in the office and have a more stable 9-to-5 job than before, I guess. So I definitely have aspirations to move up within the company in different roles, but for now I'm very blessed where I'm at.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Gordie, how does it feel to give students like Isai the opportunity? Because I know you didn't have you have a program that you bring in graduates like this, young leaders who have a future.
We bring them in. Isai started with us as an intern and worked on our boats as an intern for the summer, getting a lot of experience. Yeah, it feels great seeing these guys and girls that started from the beginning that we saw in high school, and now they're in our office, they're in our management staff. So it's a great feeling for me.
Great. And Isai, I know that Gordie's retired, but is there anything that you would like to tell him for helping you get on this great career path?
Well, I mean, he's the one that hired me. So I can definitely say thank you for giving me the opportunity to show you guys what I'm made of coming out of college. If it wasn't for you guys giving me that opportunity, I probably would have been somewhere else and in a different career path after college. So I appreciate it, Gordie.
You did all the work.
You guys are the best. You and Dennis, man, you guys definitely helped us through and growing within the company, and making the smooth transition from civilian life to being a towboater.
Well, I expect to see you in the corner office at some point in your career. So.
Definitely, definitely. Well, we're going to bring on the next two folks, Taylor and Edgar, and then we're going to all come back together and do a group Q&A. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Edgar. How are y'all today?
Doing great.
Awesome. So Taylor, you're with Cox Hardware and Lumber, and I just wanted to say thank you for hiring Edgar as an intern. For those of you not watching, we did a Facebook Live at Cox Hardware several months ago, and Edgar was I saw him with his badge on, and he actually stopped me and said, "Hi, you gave me a scholarship," and I just didn't know, and
Right.
we were put in positions for a reason, and I was just so impressed that I met you that day that you remembered. And Taylor, how does it feel, and why is it important to give students like Edgar an opportunity during the summer or even during the school year?
Yeah, so absolutely. Edgar was a great worker. We hired him essentially to be over the summer between semesters in college. We typically start folks out as a warehouse assistant, pretty much running product from the receiving line onto the floor and doing various other jobs. We do a lot of custom cuts for different types of things. But we quickly realized that Edgar was much more of an asset on the floor. He speaks very well to folks. He has excellent interpersonal relationship skills, and he can sell on his feet, which is always great for the floor there. So we quickly moved him onto the floor, and the places that we put him in, really went well. He came into the job and said, "Look, I admit I have very little experience in the hardware floor, but I'm willing to work hard and I'm willing to, learn and things like that." And boy, he sure did. So over a short couple months that we were able to have him with him, then he really proved himself an asset, particularly during COVID, which for us, we were blessed to be very busy during that time. And having somebody of that caliber on the staff was really helpful. And I mean, as to your question about why is this so important, Edgar is just starting out on his journey in his career, and I think that first jobs or internships are really a great place to get general work experience. Can you show up on time? Do you have a clean and press uniform? Can you speak to somebody intelligibly, and can you accomplish the purpose for which you were hired? And you start to earn a wage, and you gain independence from that. You also learn from a different environment. You go from school, being in school from K through 12, and into the work environment, which is vastly different, and sort of your entrance into adulthood. And finally, folks with the first job or summer job or whatever, while they're going to school or right after, they are able to gain that experience and kind of figure out whether or not they want to do this. Now, retail work sort of it's a different thing, but hardware in general, there's a lot of different ways that you can go. Construction, industrial, supplying, sales, all different types. So it kind of gives you a feel for that as well.
Oh, thank you. And Edgar, can you tell us, you're an East End Scholarship Recipient, and tell everyone what high school you went to and where you're going to college right now. And you are on mute.
Hello everyone. My name is Edgar Huerta. I graduated from Yes Prep East End. It's right there on Londa Street, right by the ship channel. And I actually attend the University of the South in Sewanee, Tennessee. So that's where I go to school.
In Tennessee. So how's the weather over there?
Well, right now it's actually very fresh. I'm very happy to be on this campus. I'll call my parents and they'll tell me how hot it is over there still. And I mean, I've always enjoyed the weather here for the most part.
Well, Edgar, Taylor said some very wonderful things about you, that you're a driven person. And I think it's wonderful when students, young like yourself, share your strengths with your employer so that they can see that you have the drive and given that opportunity to go from point A to point B in such short time. So how did it feel to work this summer here in Houston at Cox Hardware and Lumber?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you, Taylor. I really appreciate all those kind words. And I mean, I definitely enjoyed it. I had had previous jobs summers before, and they were just in regular big corporation retail stores. And if I'm being honest, I didn't enjoy either of the two until I got to Taylor's store. It was Cox Hardware and Lumber. I feel like I grew. I was able to really interact with the coworkers very well. And it's just, it felt good to be in the community nearby. It was a local store, and I had always heard about helping local companies grow and everything. And it was definitely the first opportunity for me to just definitely give back to my community in a small way. It's not the biggest way, but it was definitely a good way to humble me to just go back to my roots in Houston more than anything.
Wow. Taylor, you should be proud. You look at your future leader that you're helping right here. So Edgar, I know that you said some kind words to him. What are your plans for the future after you graduate, and what are you majoring in?
I'm actually majoring in economics and minoring in education. My plans as for the future, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is because I'm not too sure yet, but I do plan to work in some sort of office actually. So maybe starting my own smaller business in my community in Denver Harbor actually. And I don't know, I just have a lot of ambitious goals for the long term. But as of right now, I think I'd like to go into some sort of corporate office job to get some money, raise some funds, and then just gain a little bit of skills to know what the ins and outs of the business world.
Well, we see a bright future for you. Taylor, are there any things that you'd like to say how important it is to hire students from the community into your family-owned business?
Yeah, absolutely, Francis. So one thing that we've seen time and time again is that the best source of employment is from your own area. That's particular for us. We're a retail store, we're open to the public, so we have everybody, not just industrial customers, which is sort of how we're oriented, but also folks from the neighborhood, particularly now that COVID has reared its ugly head. The great thing about folks from the neighborhood is that they know and understand the environment, so they know and understand the needs of their customers. They're able to translate that very easily. And they also are invested in their community. They live a couple streets down in Edward's case, and or Edgar's case. And the other thing is that these guys need experience. And like Edgar talked, first couple jobs are kind of tough, corporate, very lockstep. But we have a business that we're proud of, and we want to be able to help those young leaders know, to borrow a term from the Army, know what right looks like. They're able to, have a good boss. They're able to have, trust and confidence in their leaders. They're able to do something that they're proud of and that they can see works toward a common goal. And honestly, it plants seeds for those, for their futures. Like I said before, if they're able to show up on time and, in the right dress and be prepared and things like that, that's a universal skill. That's a soft skill that applies to each and every job that we all have. And I think we can all agree on that. But yeah, thanks, Edward. Really appreciate the kind words. And we were definitely very sad to see you go, but we wish you luck in all your future endeavors, and let us know if you think about starting up that business. Okay.
We're here to support you. And next we're going to ask Paula and Katia to come back on, and then we're all going to come back together. Hi, Paula. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Paula is president and CEO of Possible Missions, and who hired Katia as an intern. And before we start with Katia, Paula, we wanted to tell us a little bit about you and your business and why it's important to hire young future leaders.
Yeah, so thank you, Francis, and thank you for having this forum. I love some of the things that Taylor brought up, as far as what his company's doing and the community and all. But I really believe that hiring younger talent that's either in college or about to graduate is really important. So Possible Missions, we have about 25 employees, and they're all around Texas and a couple that are out of the state. But what we do is we provide research supplies and equipment to major universities. And so our business is really in the office, but although we supply, probably 30 to 40 universities, our business is really in the office. And what we try to do is we try to hire younger talent. We want younger individuals to come in so that we can help them help grow. And, it's always an opportunity. If they do well and want to move on, I think that's a testament to our management team, and we're okay with that. The same thing for college. If they want to go back to college and pursue it, I think that's important too. So we try and help support that. And if I may just tell you how I met Katia. It was really funny because I'm part of another nonprofit where we were doing some sessions for some college students and high school students, and she participated in that. And I had a couple of my team members there, and my administrator came over and go, "Have you seen her? Do you see? She's actually helping. She's putting things together." And Katia was really just taking charge when we asked her, and she was there as a participant, not as a volunteer or helper. And that's some of the things that we look towards, when we're hiring young talent to come into the office. We really want somebody that's going to take that initiative, have that drive to say, what else can I do for you? So.
Oh, wonderful. Katia, those are some wonderful words that she said about you. And I have more to share as well. But first, tell us what high school you went to and what college you're going to and what you're majoring in.
Okay, I graduated from Cristo Rey Jesuit. I go to the University of Houston, and I am planning on majoring in accounting. I was a little hesitant, but I think I'm still gonna major in that. I would really, really want to pursue though, like another, I don't know, like double major in like supply chain or something. But accounting is what I really want at the moment.
That's wonderful. So Paula, I love the story of how you met Katia, and I'll tell you mine. So my former employee, the Houston Rockets, had a table at the Cristo Rey Gala, and my husband and I attended, and we were standing there, and Katia and another student came up to us and greeted us, and I just thought that was just so sweet. And I told her, this was months before we had our scholarship. Don't forget to go to our website on the certain day. And I kid you not, she was the first person to apply for the scholarship. She remembered, she applied, she got it. And then Paula, when you sent me and everyone else information about that program you were having, we sent it to all of our students, and Katia was the only student from our Easton Scholars that took advantage of that opportunity. And then it led her to this internship, which leads her to this right now. So it's those initiatives that we're very proud of you, Katia, for having. And if you got, all our great students could write a book about the little traits that they are doing, they could make a really, really great superhuman here. So Katia, how did you enjoy your internship, and is this one of your first ones?
Yeah, so Possible Missions, it was my third internship, but it was very different than what I was used to. I really liked working for Paula. It was amazing. I really admire Paula. She is amazing. She's everything I want to be. Hopefully one day I can have my own company. But yeah, I definitely look up to Paula. She taught me so much. I gained much more experience. And not only that, but I also found the importance of family. Everyone in Possible Missions is very close. Everyone always helps each other out. And yeah, not only that, but also she taught me how to be really, really organized. I know whenever Paula has so many events and everything she, writes down on her agenda, and that taught me a lot because it's really helpful. And now that I have another job, it's second nature to me. And the reason why is because everything that I learned with Paula, I am using it now, which I learned, it's much more easier. And yeah, it became second nature to me. So thank you so much, Paula. I look up to you so much. I will always be very thankful. And I'm so thankful for you too, Frances, because of you, I met her. And yeah.
Now, are you wearing red in Paula's honor?
I forgot. I honestly forgot. But yeah, I mean, hey.
So this is so Katia goes to University of Houston. Paula is a Cougar, and so they have a beautiful red common love going on here. Paula, those are beautiful words that Katia said about you, and I think the world of you too. Is so for any other words of encouragement for any other students out there, or for Katia in their journey on their career.
Yeah, so Katia, thank you for those beautiful words. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and it's getting a little bit emotional back here because we do run a tight ship at Possible Missions. Even though we're a small business and we're family oriented and want to take care of one another, we still have to run a business. And I'm glad you brought up the organizational skills, because that's one of the things that I talk to my staff about all the time. I'm sitting here and I have my organizational notebook that she's talking about. But it makes a difference. It's a little old school, but in this day and age, we really have to make sure that we keep our life, our work, our everything in order. But I think one of the things I wanted to say mostly is that I'm glad that she had some takeaways. It's really hard as a mentor sometimes, even with an internship, of what do you teach them? What do they need to know? How do they move on from here? It's really tough sometimes, as an employer. So I'm glad that there were some takeaways for her, and hopefully she does well. I'm sure she'll do well in her career. But I think for us, that's one of the biggest things, is helping nurture our younger generation to either stay with us or to move on. But I appreciate the opportunity to have had her as an intern.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to bring everybody back on right now. I get emotional too at some of those sweet things that are said today. And then if anyone out there has any questions, please put those in the Q&A box. So welcome everybody. I think that this is so inspirational, and that's why we call these Feel Good Fridays, because we want everyone to leave this session feeling good, and I already feel good. Hopefully everybody else will too. But my first question to anyone is to the employers, why did you decide to be a mentor? And Sarah, we'll start with you, if you don't mind.
Hi. Yeah. Well, I can tell you for TPC Group, some of the reasons why we take on interns, it's a lot has to do with our employees wanting to be mentors, because when we bring in high school interns, it's a job, and hopefully those students gain a lot of valuable skills that can help them make better decisions about what they want to do in their career. But it's also a responsibility of the supervisor, because naturally they become a mentor to those students, especially if they do a good job of supervising. And what we have found is the interns who are most successful generally have the most attentive and most involved supervisors, and the ones who really take on that role as a mentor to these students. So, and the result of that is not only do the students succeed, but our employees feel great about being able to give back in their own way in doing something that they too love to do, which is their career, and kind of pay it forward to the students.
And Taylor, you probably don't even think that you're a mentor, but you've been a mentor to Edgar. Is he one of your first ones? What was your experience with any other, and what words of encouragement do you tell to other people that want to become a mentor?
Sure. Well, I talked briefly with Edgar. I wish I had known him a little bit better. Just the nature of the environment. I was pretty much buying as much as I could in the back. But, it's always great to be able to, focus and help out somebody that's, on a trajectory upward. There's too much news out there right now where, there's homeless issues, there's, pay disparity issues, all those types of things. And you see somebody right there, that people talking bad about millennials or Gen Z, and you've got Edgar who's just working his butt off and he says, well, I'm not going to take the summer off, I'm going to work. That's really heartening. And it's always, good to provide positive feedback. I found really just kind of focus on the job and focus on making them better. Oftentimes, if you're able to kind of talk off to the side and give some advice. I remember specifically on his last day, I told Edgar, the one thing that I can tell you that will make you successful no matter where you are is whatever task you're given, just work that into the ground. Do the best job that you can. It doesn't matter if it's, taking out trash, if it's, admin assistant. He mentioned, going into an office job or a corporate job, maybe you make the coffee really well, so much so that the boss wants you to make the coffee, the best coffee that you ever can every time. And, it doesn't matter what it does, because it shows your bosses that, whatever task you're given, you will excel at, and that'll shoot you straight to the top. And, just trying to offer those things that I've learned kind of the hard way. I've had several bosses that were, you could almost say toxic, over the course of, certainly not here, but, in my Army career, definitely things that I learned that I want to pass on. That's it. I mean, just being able to say, hey, let me give you a shortcut and tell you something that's real important that can sidestep you a lot of pain. That's all mentoring is, and hopefully, Edgar, takes that to, I know he already has, he's working so dang hard, but, hopefully folks take that to heart and continue doing great things.
And then for our mentees, I've got a question here. Are you looking forward to mentoring someone, and when do you think that you're going to find the time to do it? Are you doing it now? Katia, we'll start with you.
I would definitely love to mentor someone. I mean, here and there, I do kind of give advice to people who are in my shoes, but I definitely do want to do it. I think I'll after I graduate college, that's when I will do it. And yeah, I would actually love to also sponsor children who are going into college one day, obviously. But yeah,
Great.
It's definitely in my agenda.
And Isai, now that you're in the office and going on your way to become the corner office, are you mentoring, or is that something that you want to do as what Gordie did for you?
Yeah. So, so with mentoring, I've had the opportunity when I was working on the boats to actually attend Austin High School with San Jacinto Maritime. My instructor there, Amy Arrowwood, me and her went to talk to some high school students, and I consider it as some sort of mentorship, because I was telling these kids and these seniors that, hey, there's a real career path here, and you guys just have to pursue it. I'm a perfect example. Same thing when I graduated from San Jac Maritime. Now that I'm in the office, I can say, hey, there's a life after being on the boats, and talking to college students as well, and saying, hey, there's a path that you can follow, and then you can pursue something outside, but still being inside the industry itself. So I've taken the opportunity to do that, and I mean, I just got to pay it forward. And if I can mentor someone in the future, when I get more experience, I'll be more than happy to.
Wonderful. And Gordie, I know that you've retired. Do you plan on, and nobody really retires, and now that everything is on Zoom and virtual, do you plan on mentoring, being a mentor to others in the field?
Absolutely. I continue to, I'll actually be doing some work for Kirby over on an occasion, and I'm staying on the board at San Jac on the advisory board. So yeah, there'll be plenty of opportunities to continue doing that.
That's wonderful. And Edgar, when you graduate, do you think that you'll come back to the East End and open up your company here?
Yeah, mentorship has always been a very big thing of mine. Every year, I feel like I gain another one, and another one. And so it's a very moving thing to me. It influences my decisions very much. And so I can only hope to be that same resource for people from my neighborhood more than anything, because I've seen the paths that some people might choose. And I mean, I'd love to steer them a little bit on a more opportunistic side than just staying and not realizing what's out there in the world.
Great. Well, we are going to close with any words of encouragement and we're going to start with our mentors. Any words of encouragement that you have for your mentee, or words of encouragement for any other company that wants to be a mentor, or any other student that's looking out there, any kind of advice. And if you don't mind, we'll start with Paula.
Okay, great. Actually, I want to take a little bit from what Taylor, I think you and I come from the same cloth here. But one of the things I truly believe in, and I put it in an article not too long ago, is that, you know, it really doesn't matter the job you have, the title you have. You know, a lot of people get offended if you ask them to make coffee, or can you buy me a coffee on your way in, or whatever. Really, at the end of the day, I say, it doesn't matter the title you have. I've been a receptionist before, and now I'm a CEO. And I can tell you that they're both just as important in a company. The receptionist is the first person a client sees, the first person they hear, how you treat them. They may never come back. So really, that's the way I look at it. The words of encouragement, I would say, and you know, Katia is a role model for this, but thanks for you guys wanting to pay it forward, because where you're sitting already, just by this call and participating, you're already giving back to somebody. But I know Katia has younger sisters, I think, and she was already mentoring them, and I witnessed that. But you guys really, to be on this call, you're already paying it forward. And if you continue to do that, our community is just going to be so much better down the road. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Sarah, would you like to go next?
Well, I guess it's a little unfair because I'm not mentoring somebody here today, but I agree with Paula. I mean, I think, you know, we've heard it many, many times, and you know, it's a cliche, but to whom much is given, much is expected. And I think we've all on all these squares I'm looking at, we've all been given opportunity. And don't ever forget about the experiences that you've had, both good and bad, and how do you take those experiences, not only learn from them yourself, but then how do you really pay those forward and help people that come after you and come alongside you, just to make each other better and to better our community. So thank you, and you guys are doing great work. I'm getting emotional too, Francis. It makes me so proud to see these, the kind of the next generation that like Taylor said, you know, sometimes they don't get enough credit. You have people that could easily take the summer off or just get by, and to see people, you know, put aside maybe their wants and do something that they know is going to better themselves in the community is just a beautiful thing. So great job.
I agree. Gordie.
I'd just like to jump in and say this has been a very difficult year to be able to mentor people. And, you know, we kind of at Kirby kind of lost the whole year here. And so to the folks that may be listening to this, that trying to become mentors or want to be mentored, just hang in there. It'll come back here soon. And because we all want to do it. Most companies out there want to mentor people, to bring them up through the system. And there's a huge need for that. So it's going to come back. It's just going to be a matter of time, and hopefully a short time.
I agree. Taylor.
I don't know if there's anything else to say, and I don't want to inflate Edgar's ego too much more, but just hey, you're doing great. You're working hard. You're on the right trajectory. Just keep on working and keep on believing and making smart decisions, and you'll go really far.
Great. And we'll change it up for the mentees. We're just going to, and our scholars rather, any advice that you want to give to anybody about the importance of growing and maintaining great relationships? We'll start with you, Katia.
Something that I have learned is being the best that you can be, being the best person. Kind of like what Taylor said, if you're going to make coffee, make sure it's the best coffee you can make. Yeah, just being the best employee. And yeah, I mean, I even learned that in Paula Mendoza's firm company. I remember Tony, the accountant, she was, well, I got to meet her for like, what, 1 month or 2 months? Like I was there, and she was the best accountant I have ever seen. I think she's a great employee, and yeah, she kind of taught me how to do that. And she would always tell me, be the best. Like, you know, you're gonna go with your future endeavors and you're gonna join other companies, but be the best you can be, and just everything you do, just do it better.
I agree. And Edgar, would you like to share anything of the importance of growing and maintaining great relationships?
I think it's very important. It's definitely something that I think everybody should really begin to acknowledge more, because at least when I was in high school, I thought college was going to be nothing but you had to know everything. And it's really not that. It's about creating those relationships with the people that you know can help you, who you know are good, have good morals and good intentions with their lives. So I would say just really find those role models that you know, everybody knows who are the people that are making good decisions, and really just imitate it in your own style and just try to pursue, set a good value for your life ahead. The way I've done it is I set a goal in my life, like a long-term big goal that seems unimaginable to the world. And then every small decision that I make leads to that in some sort of way. And you never know how far that'll take you.
So proud of you, Edgar.
Yeah.
Isai.
Yeah, so I'm gonna feed off of Edgar on what he said. I definitely agree with finding someone you can imitate, or definitely see them like, look, they're going through the right path. That's someone successful that I want to be like one day. And the choices you make in the work environment, the work relationship you have with others at work is what's gonna push you forward within the company. Because if you can't get along with coworkers, what you know, that's not an incentive to promote you. So definitely be yourself when it comes to being out there in the workforce, so you can be successful.
I love it. Thank you all so very much. For those of you who don't know, the Easton Chambers Scholarship Foundation started in 2013. We have given over $500,000 throughout the year to amazing students like these three here. There are hundreds more of them out there. And we want to do more this type of programming, because it does make me feel good. And I'm just so proud of you all. If anyone out there wants to become a member, please reach out to myself at francis@eecoc.org. And if you want to donate and have a scholarship in somebody's name to a student like this, let us know and we'll work something out with you as well. We look forward to seeing everybody next Friday for our Feel Good Friday. And I wish all of you a great weekend. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Francis.
Thank you, Paula.
Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.